Welcome back. The National School Boards Association now sorry for their letter to the White House describing parents as domestic terrorists. The new statement reading, "We regret and apologize for the letter. There was no justification for some of the language included." Here to react is former Princeton and Vanderbilt University professor, Dr. Swain. Doctor, thanks so much for joining the program. We always enjoy having you on. Are they apologizing because they got caught and didn't consult with their local school boards, or are they apologizing to the parents?
They are apologizing because they got caught and they embarrassed the DOJ and exposed them for the political hacks that they are. And so what they have done is ignite a firestorm. Americans across the political spectrum, Democrats and Republican parents, are concerned about CRT. And so they've actually awakened a sleeping giant and united parents.
Yeah, the parents are fired up. Dr. Swain, I want to move on.
They really are.
You're exactly right. I want to move on to this other story that's going to blow your mind. The Art Institute of Chicago is criticized for firing an mostly white female that are financially well off for the lack of diversity. And they released this statement. I want to get your reaction to it. Somehow this has been twisted into unfounded accusations of reverse racism. We're simply pausing a volunteer educators program and would never want to diminish the contribution they have made. This should not be the root of a culture war. My first reaction is, if this is a group of volunteers, then why did you need to get rid of them to begin with? It just doesn't sound right, Doctor.
First of all, it's racial discrimination, and many of these women were older white women, so it's probably age discrimination. Right. But since they're volunteers and it's a private organization, I don't know that they have a civil rights recourse. But when you think about it, the actions mean that they have fired key members of their donor base. They have fired people that had years of experience, knowledge, enthusiasm about art, and these people will be replaced probably by paid workers who will not have the same level of knowledge and enthusiasm. And so the left, they're so foolish.
You know,
I mean, equity means equal outcomes regardless of interest. And when it comes to volunteers, people volunteer where they want to volunteer. And there are volunteers in the Black community as well as other minority communities. If they wanted to work at the Art Institute, I'm sure no one prevented them.
Doctor, I only got a little bit of time left, but I guess my big concern, it seems like we're going back in time. Is this a dangerous game that we're playing right here?
I mean, it's a dangerous game, and if we want to go back to the Department of Justice, what they have done is not defend the civil rights and civil liberties of Americans all across the board. And so what we see, even though we have the 1964 Civil Rights Act, its amendments, we see resegregation taking place, we see racial discrimination taking place against white Americans now that we condemned when it was against racial and ethnic minorities. And if it was wrong, we know it was wrong. In fact, we passed laws condemning it. The same thing is taking place against whites, and it's unacceptable, and we should stand up.
Yeah, it's disgusting, and people aren't speaking up about it because they're considered oppressors. This is why the country is going in this direction, because no one is speaking up for groups that they're not identified with, but you are, Doctor, so we appreciate you coming on the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You bet.